What's up and welcome to Pole Position. I'm asking the question, LeBron or Michael? Now we know Scottie Pippen came out and said that, LeBron might be a better player than Michael, and, a lot of people went off on that. I didn't think it was quite as ridiculous, but I'm going to examine it skill by skill. Athleticism. Now, Michael Jordan is one of the greatest athletes the game has ever seen, period. I mean, the hang time, we all know, we've seen it. We've seen the replays and the videos a million times, but I'll say this. In my personal opinion, LeBron James is the greatest athlete basketball has ever seen. Now, we're just talking about athlete. We're talking about run, jump, strength, agility, first step. That's what we're talking about. Not talking about anything else, just straight athlete. LeBron James is the greatest athlete basketball has ever seen. Edge goes to LeBron there. Now let's talk about ball handling. Now, when you're talking about ball handling, it's not how pretty your crossover looks. It's not how pretty your hesitation looks. It's all about taking care of the ball, getting where you need to get on the floor without turning it over. Now, both of these guys obviously had a ball in their hands, or Mike had it in his hands a lot. LeBron has it in his hands a ton. So one of the biggest stats you can look at when you're talking about ball handling is turnovers. Now, both players turned it over a little bit, obviously, like you would think with somebody who has the ball that much. But LeBron James turns the ball over a decent amount of times more than Jordan did. So I'm going to give that edge to MJ. Now, next, let's talk about passing. Now, LeBron is maybe the best, if not the best. He's probably no less than the second best passing small forward ever. Now, Jordan definitely was a above average passer for sure. But I'm going to tell you honestly, if you're just talking about pure passing, LeBron James is a better passer probably than Michael Jordan was. No knock on Michael at all. I mean, Mike is Mike. We don't have to defend Mike. I'm from Chicago. Trust me, you don't have to defend Mike to me. I grew up on Mike. But as far as just pure passing, LeBron's a better passer. Not a knock on Mike, just really a compliment to just how good of a passer LeBron is. Let's go to three-point shooting. Now, of course, they both had their moments of just insane three-point shooting. We all remember the shrug simulated here with the 6 3-pointers in the first half in the NBA Finals against Portland by Michael Jordan. But if you think back, LeBron had a nice three-point exhibition itself as they upset the Pistons to actually get to the finals in the 06-07 series. And if you look at the percentages, three-point shooting, both of them are about 33% three-point shooters. So to me, even though LeBron takes more threes than Mike did, it's a wash. Let's talk about the mid-range game. Michael Jordan is the best pure scorer that has ever lived. And being a pure scorer depends a lot on your mid-range game, because sometimes the three's not going to be falling. You're not going to be able to get all the way to the cup. Got to have a mid-range game. LeBron does not have a great mid-range game. It's decent. Mike's is one of the best ever. Edge to Mike. And let's talk about post-game. In the last 2 or 3 or maybe 5 seasons of Michael Jordan's career, he was his team's best post player. One of the best post players at a guard position you'll ever see. This is a big-time weakness of LeBron, as he has not developed a post game yet. And it really makes no sense that he has, because with his size, he would be so dominant on the block. Would really help his team currently. Edge to Mike. Now, as a penetrator finisher, they both are dynamic. 2 of the most exciting players you've ever seen play the game. Mike with ridiculous hops, ridiculous hang time. Mike with the ability to make all types of tough shots. But LeBron, in regards to finishing, has something that Mike didn't have in regards to strength and bulk. But Mike had more dexterity when it comes to going into the lane, contorting his body, and finishing with all different types of shots close to the basket. So because of this, it's really very difficult to say who has an edge, or if anybody has an edge at all. So I lean more towards calling this particular category a wash as well. Now, going to the next category, free throw shooting. Now, when I'm talking about free throw shooting, obviously we're talking about how accurate are you from the free throw line, but we're also talking about getting to the line. Any primetime scorer has to get to the line. You're not going to have nights where you just shoot 14 out of 18 or 15 out of 22 every night. You got to get to the line. They both get to the line about 8 times a game, or got to the line about 8 times a game. But Mike is a significantly better career free throw shooter than LeBron is. Mike is in the mid-80s and 80 percentile, and LeBron's about 77% as a lifetime free throw shooter. That edge goes to Mike. Defense. Now this was probably the hardest category to choose for me, as they both have been dynamic and amazing defenders. Mike has more hardware in regards to defense, winning Defensive Player of the Year. LeBron has been all defensive team the last 2 or 3 seasons. Mike had a ridiculous string of all defensive team nominations, or actually being on the all defensive team. But LeBron could actually defend more. He can actually defend more positions than Mike. LeBron can legitimately defend 4 positions on the floor. Mike could defend probably 2. 3 on a good night, depending on who's playing the point guard. Mike generally did have a little bit of a tough time defending the small, quick point guards. LeBron definitely proved this postseason that defending small, quick point guards a la Derrick Rose was something that he could handle. So both of them have their edges. Mike definitely paid the passing lanes better, stole the ball better, and the block shots were very, very similar, even though LeBron's are more spectacular. Because of all of that parity, I'm going to say this is a wash as well. Go to rebounding. As far as rebounding, Mike was definitely a better than average rebounder for the guard, and in fact a very good rebounder for the guard position. But LeBron James is something special on the boards as small forward. I mean, maybe, I don't know how many times we've seen a person with the ability to board at the clip that he can do if he concentrates on rebounding, which sometimes is difficult because he has to score. But he's a better rebounder than Mike ever was. Some of that is about size, but hey, we can't penalize him for that. Intangibles. Now this is where it gets just downright being a landslide. You got last second shots like that by Mike. Big time leader. Leadership never questioned, probably past his 2nd year in the league, and even in that early he was nailing big time shots, showing up in the clutch. If you just want to relay clutch, there is no contest. Michael is 20 times the clutch player that LeBron has shown himself to be. LeBron has, by a lot of counts, disappeared. Now, accomplishments, this is like comparing Martin Lawrence dressed up as Big Mama to Halle Berry. It ain't even close. You see that? That's 6 banners, and that's a retired number. For all of the exciting plays LeBron has done, you want to talk about accomplishments. 2 MVPs to 6. LeBron made a good account of himself in his only appearance in the final. In 2 appearances in the finals. 1 was pretty good. The 2nd one not so good. Mike has 6 championships, 6 finals MVP. There's the assessment. Skill by skill. And the final tally shows Michael Jordan 6 skill sets up. LeBron 3 I gave a wash. But now I'm only one person. I know the game, but I can't say everything. So please vote in the comments. Now, who is better, MJ or LeBron? What's your poll position?